Jesse hopefully will get that shot at the Undisputed. I mean, obviously disappointed that Teraji's fight fell through, but we'll try and make that fight with Garcia. Jesse hopefully will get that shot at the Undisputed. I mean, obviously disappointed that Teraji's fight fell through, but we'll try and make that fight with Garcia.
Jesse hopefully will get that shot at the Undisputed. I mean, obviously disappointed that Teraji's fight fell through, but we'll try and make that fight with Garcia.
Baby, bam! ここにいるうちの本物のスクールスポーツのために行こうぜ、ベイビーバンとの国は気をつけて、現実になることがありますからね。
All right, so we're going to go ahead and continue the long-standing tradition of covering Japanese boxing in the rain. True School Sports, the #1 source of Japanese boxing in America. Listen, guys, I wanted to speak on this because I feel like nobody's going to talk about this. Shout out to Yahoo Japan for reporting on it, you know, because I did think it was a little suspicious, but I didn't want to be a hater and just come out and start talking. But Yahoo Japan, they went ahead and reported on it, and I think it's worth bringing attention to this story because, as we know, as many of us know, Kenshiro Teraji, he was slated to fight Wilbaldo Garcia for the IBF super flyweight title. You know, this was going to be a big watershed moment in the career of Kenshiro Teraji because it was his chance to become a 3-division champion. And more importantly, if he would have actually gotten the fight and won, it would have put him in prime position for the fight that he's always wanted. The fight that he's been talking about here on True School Sports. When I first interviewed him in 2023, I went to BMB Boxing Gym in Kyoto, Japan. And he told me in 2023, in our first ever interview together, he said, BT, True School, I want to fight Bam Rodriguez. I want to, you know, I think that'd be a great fight. So he's been talking about that fight for, you know, 2 going on 3 years. So, you know, it is what it is. But what happened was Wilbaldo Garcia pulled out of the fight. And Wilbaldo Garcia, basically, they said he was hospitalized. And they gave this whole sob story. And he wasn't feeling good, right? And maybe there is some truth to that. Maybe he wasn't feeling good. But it was reported by Yahoo Japan that the day after Wilbaldo Garcia was hospitalized, that he was seen in the hotel, the same hotel the fighters were staying in. He was seen in the hotel, eating good, having a nice meal, and that's led to a lot of suspicion because if you did the weigh-in and you pull out of the fight because you were hospitalized, physically speaking, there's no reason that you should be in the hotel, you know, eating and having a good time and mucking it up with everybody. You should be in the hospital. You should be recovering. You shouldn't be in no hotel. You shouldn't be, you know, doing all that stuff over there. So there are already conspiracies from a lot of the boxing community about what happened because, you know, Kenshiro was done dirty. There was no replacement opponents of legitimate credibility on standby. And he was, listen, the Amazing Boy was a diligent professional. He trained hard. He was willing, ready, and able to compete. And he was failed by everyone around him in the promotion. And as far as my knowledge is concerned, as far as from what I've heard, maybe you guys can correct me, but I haven't heard anything about the IBF stripping Wilbaldo Garcia. I haven't heard anything about Kenshiro Teraji and plans for him to potentially, you know, fight for that title, whether it be against Wilbaldo Garcia in a rescheduled match or maybe if Wilbaldo got stripped, maybe doing it against the IBF mandatory in Jason Maloney, who we all know is waiting in the wings for his title shot. So I smell, honestly, like, I don't want to accuse nobody of anything, but like, as the old saying goes, where there's smoke, there's fire. And I don't like the optics of it. Kenshiro Teraji deserves his shot. He's been a great servant to this sport. He won his first world title in 2017. He's always been willing to fight the best. And look, I won't get too crazy or ignorant now, but Bam Rodriguez better not get no undisputed fight against Wilbaldo Garcia. If Bam fights Wilbaldo Garcia next, I'm letting everyone know I'm gonna be hypercritical and borderline ignorant because I mean, it's not Bam's fault. I'm not saying it's his fault. He's just a fighter. He's just trying to go about his business. So I'm not pinning it on Bam, but I'm gonna pin it on the powers that be, trying to get him the easiest path to Undisputed. Like, people aren't stupid. Wilbaldo Garcia is a good fighter, but Wilbaldo Garcia started boxing at like 28, 27 or 28 or something like that, like late in his life. He doesn't have the experience to deal with a lot of these guys. And if he does, he should have to prove it in the ring against Kenshiro Teraji or against, you know, against if he beats them, of course, right? But like, this isn't a new thing for Wilbaldo Garcia, because back in the day, I remember Wilbaldo Garcia had a fight like 2 years ago. I'm gonna say like around 2023. He had a fight 2 years ago scheduled against Kosai Tanaka, and he pulled out of that fight too. So I don't know what the reasoning is, but I'm starting to notice a pattern in the career of Wilbaldo Garcia, and that pattern is, when it's time to step up and fight like a real big name, he pulls out. Now, maybe it's coincidence, maybe God has a sense of humor, but I'm just pointing it out. So, like, I won't get too like pissed off about it now, but I think there needs to be some accountability as to what happened, because Kenshiro was a professional. He showed up ready, on weight, ready to put on a great fight for the boxing fans. And not only did he not get his title shot, but the guy who was quote unquote hospitalized, that guy was seen in the hotel where all the fighters are staying the next day, eating, nourishing his body, mucking it up for everyone. And it's like, nah, man. If you really that damn hospitalized, if you were physically able to be in the team hotel, eating and having a good time and nourishing your body and all that stuff, then I don't know, man. Maybe you should have fought. Because really, when somebody is really dehydrated from weight and they get hospitalized, guess where they end up at? Guess where they stay at? They stay at the hospital. So I don't know, man. I feel like the powers that be pulled all this off, because Kenshiro Teraji is a tougher fight for Bam Rodriguez than Wilbaldo. Like, with all due respect to Wilbaldo, I respect his journey in the sport. But like, if we're talking about Bam fighting him or Kenshiro, I know Bam would be the favorite against both guys. But like, Wilbaldo's a layup for Bam. Kenshiro isn't. So get him out the way and do the Undisputed fight, and it'll be an easy fight for Bam. But I don't know. I'm not gonna get too upset now, because the IBF hasn't made a ruling, and Bam and Wilbaldo aren't fighting. But I'm gonna tell you guys this: please screen record this, or at least remember this clip when I say this. If Bam Rodriguez and Wilbaldo Garcia fight next for Undisputed, I'm calling foul play. I'm calling bullshit, because there's no way to reconcile a guy getting pulled out of a fight because he was hospitalized, and the next day he's in the team hotel eating, you know, having a great time. You know, it don't look right. It don't sound right. If you're hospitalized, stay at the hospital. You understand? So yeah, you know, I hope Wilbaldo Garcia is okay, but something just seems off about all this, and the fact that they didn't have any legitimate replacement opponents on standby for this fight, it's just Kenshiro really just got screwed here, and it's not even his fault. And this has been a recurring theme in his career, because like when Kenshiro was at light flyweight and when he was trying to go Undisputed, Jonathan Bomba Gonzalez pulled out of the fight a couple of times, and you know, he couldn't really like go Undisputed because his body was having a hard time making the weight. You got Jonathan Gonzalez pulling out a fight, so it's like he just hasn't had luck in certain instances in his career. But all I'm saying is that, you know, I don't care what they do with Bam, but as far as the IBF title is concerned, Kenshiro is now owed a shot. You guys, and when I say you guys, I mean the sanctioning bodies, the IBF. You guys sanction and allow Wilbaldo Garcia and Kenshiro to sign a contract. Kenshiro made weight healthily and was ready to fight. He should not be screwed for being a professional. And if he is, this is sending a terrible message to the sport of boxing. And if Bam and Wilbaldo Garcia fight next for Undisputed, that's bullshit. Because I've heard Eddie Hearn, who promotes Bam, I've heard Eddie Hearn hint at them doing that. So I'm getting out in front of it now, because I know how this fight game is. But y'all can leave your comments down below. I'll leave the article for you guys down below so you can read it for yourself on Yahoo Japan. They're the ones who reported on it, so shout out to them. But what do you guys think? Leave your comments down below. and we'll talk later on.
Thank you for watching True School Sports.
Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports empire, the home of boxing. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers, guys. So help us keep being great. Help us keep pushing out that real boxing content for the fine folks all around the world. And make sure you jab, you hook, you Mike Tyson, you Mayweather that subscribe button. Pops, show them how do they gotta hit the subscribe button. Pop, pop, pop.